Bro, I've been on a roller coaster of a journey. God, God is all I can say. You know, oh, like as a young man, here's the thing, okay? Every young man feels this way, right? Lost, purposeless, rejected, okay? You know, if you're not a lucky SOB, you're probably in that category of just, shit, right? Like, I've got to build my value. And you do, you've got to build your bloody value. You don't just get it, man. Again, look, if you inherited good genetics, if you inherited money from your parents, or a skill or a talent that you cultivated from birth or whatever, like if you just had some inherent advantage, right, you're ahead of the curve, right? You are. But let's be real, the reality of the world, and the world is of course not exactly what you're aiming to please, because we're all, at the end of the day, Christ-centered people. And when I say Christ, I just mean truth-centered people in the first place. We care more about Christ and following truth than we do about the ways of the world and the whims of the world, which are by the prince of this world. And who's the prince of this world? Good old Satan, right? Satan, the great deceiver, is what he is. The deceiver. He pulls you away from God by the allure of the world, the temptations of the world, of the typical kind of really temptations, the temptation of power, the temptation of sex. I mean, that's really it, to be honest. There's nothing really, well, what else am I going to tempt you with? Everything else is just going to lead to both of those things anyway. Money is just an extension of power, and what you're going to spend your money on? Probably women. It's all the same thing, really. The will to power. So anyway, you're a young man. You're lost. You're purposeless. What are you? I'm not really anyone to really lecture other young men about this, because I myself am a young man who has gone through the periods of long loneliness and isolation, and most of it self-imposed, because I was going through shit, man. Like I was developing a backbone. I was developing a spiritual backbone, if you will, of how to stand on my own 2 feet with God, right? So actually not stand on my own 2 feet at all, but stand on the feet of God. And the one mistake I was making in those years was this. Okay, I wasn't building myself or even working on myself to the point where I could do that. Okay, I was wasting it because I thought that I should be spending my time chasing women. And I don't have a lot to show for those years, to be honest. I don't have a lot to show for those years at all. I wasted those years. 99% of those years were wasted. I wasn't really even that successful, right? Like I was successful to the degree that I dated a few women. It's not like I dated in the double digits or anything like that. I dated a few women. I had a little bit of, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. Like I realized what I was looking for when I was dating these women. I realized I was looking for a life partner, a soulmate. And I wasn't looking for one night stands. I had a few and they weren't fun. There was nothing fun about a one night stand, right? It was a chore to do the one night stand. And then when I actually ended up going through with it, I again realized that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, which was my purpose. I wasn't doing it. Like, it really bugs me. I was like, all right, fine. I've got the girl. Now what? I've got the girl. Now what? Like, I've got the girl. So what? Who cares? Like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing still. God ain't happy with me. Right? And what's God? God is the equilibrium of reality, speaking through to you through energy, I suppose, right? It's the energy you give that comes back to you, really. And that's how you know if God's happy with you or not. Is reality happy with you? Do you have integrity? I mean, it's so minuscule and so minute, the detail-orientated process that works within this. But, yeah, man. It really just starts with that. It starts with, am I doing what's right for God, reality, and man, which is the same thing? And then you ask yourself, well, what's my purpose? Right? And the thing about a man, right? A man serves God. That is his purpose. Now, how do you serve God? Okay? You tell the truth. You don't lie. You do what's right by other people. You see the best in other people. You bless them. You do good by them. You're kind, you're grateful, you count the blessings that you have in life, as opposed to desiring and wanting all the time. You know, what does Jesus say? He says that to he who has, more shall be given, and to he who does not have, even that which he does have will be taken away. And then it got me thinking, right, what is the way I'm meant to serve then? Because I firstly do believe, right, if you're not personally, I am a creative person. I am, because I largely am dictated by the whims and the movements of my unconscious, which is actually a problem, because that can be very destructive for me and the people around me. So I've got to be careful about that. So I don't believe that, you know, because I've always been inspired by the German hero. Now that could be interpreted as very, very bad, what I just said right there. But the German myth of the German hero, this warrior king, this warrior kind of Siegfried character who has a mission, right? Usually a girl's involved, of course. And he's got a mission to go and conquer Great Dragon and to stand on his own 2 feet and to be brave and courageous. And he wins the girl, and you know, and then he dies heroically, right? He dies heroically, and that's the point, to die heroically. Like, you've got to die whilst pursuing your mission, right? Otherwise, life's pointless. And the thing is, look, man, there's a good book by Schopenhauer, which I've not read yet. It's called The World as Will. It's just another way of saying God. But anyway, I don't care. I don't think you should sit there and think, I know what God is all about. I know God. I think I know. Like, shut up. You don't know anything. You've got a theory. You don't know. It's a theory amongst millions of others, buddy. Now, you might say, well, all right, well, how do you have integrity? Because you do what's right by you. That's how you know that you're serving God. Because if you do what's right by you, you serve reality. So now, anyway, I do believe that as a young man, your first thing that you really should be thinking about is a career. Okay, you should be thinking about a career. And now, I think the career firstly is, what am I good at? And who do I want to serve? And if in 5 to 10 years, where do I see myself? Right, these are goals that you kind of have to set for yourself. You do have to sit down, you have to think about them a little bit. You do have to think about them a little bit, man. Look, I was so inspired by the German hero, who is this creative genius, who kind of like creates his own path, he creates his own business, or creates his own movement. And that's great, like, that's awesome. But you need to be able to do that. You need discipline. You need structure. You need organization. You need commitment, and you need time. And most importantly, man, you need to have the consistency. All of those things, those skills, are required to manifest a desire, okay? Any desire you have, it requires that structure. Now, I believe that a career, okay, anything really, that's what you've dedicated yourself to for like 5 years, will give you those skills that you're looking for, okay? The skills of organization, of discipline, of consistency, of being resilient in the face of failure, of being committed to a particular goal, right? I think that's important for a young man to develop, and most importantly, to develop the skill of taking on responsibility, taking on the burdens of a particular problem, okay? That is what's going to give you purpose in life. That's what Christ says. He says, take your cross, pick up your bloody cross. What does that mean? It means pick up the burden that you want to shoulder. Pick it up. Because that's what's going to give you meaning in life, all right? And I know this. I'm speaking with confidence right now because I've got this beautiful job. I've got this amazing job working as a healthcare assistant in the NHS. And every day I feel like I'm serving God, man, working with these people, cleaning their feet, shaving them, bathing them, cleaning their buttocks, administering care and a kind word, right? And I know it's going somewhere, but otherwise I wouldn't do it. Like, why would anyone in their right mind do a job like that? I wouldn't do it just because it's a job. I would quit today and do warehousing instead. But there's a reason why I'm here. It's because I know in my heart of hearts that God has put me here because he wants me to do something and he is taking me somewhere valuable, right? I can come up with ideas and tell you where and why and how and where he's going to take me, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to say, I know, in my heart, I know. It's very much in the same line of thinking as logotherapy, where to he who has a why can bear any how, right? It doesn't matter. Like if you know that I've got a task that I need to do, it gets you out of bed in the morning. I've got a goal that I want to achieve, it gets you out of bed in the morning, man. There's something that I'm meant to become, that I'm going to become this thing, and I need to get out of bloody bed to get this job done. People need me. They're dependent on me. That's the kind of idea that you want to have in terms of shouldering the burden that you have. And that's what you need in life. Because without that, you will be depressed. There's no purpose, brother. There's no purpose. People need me to show up. They need me. They need to speak to me. They need to talk to me. They need me to carry the burden that's been put on my shoulder. Now you pick one. You go out into society, okay, and you see a problem that you want to solve, okay, that you can solve, or that you could solve if you trained and you became disciplined, right? And I know I'm sounding like Jordan Peterson right now, but the point is he's not wrong. Like, he's right. Right? We've been sold a lie when it comes to liberty. Liberty, liberty, liberty. Right? If you eat... I need to calm down and illustrate it more logically. If you indulge in food all day, technically speaking, you're being liberal, aren't you? I'm a liberal eater, which means I eat everything. But there's a common sense in your mind tells you, hang on a minute, moderation is needed. I can't eat anything and everything, otherwise I'm gonna die. Or I'll get bloody diabetes and cancer and obese, right? So I've got heart disease. I've got to have some kind of discipline, yeah? So you have discipline. Discipline comes in the form of responsibility to yourself. I've got to be responsible to myself, man. I can't kill myself. I've got to be healthy. So you don't eat all the crap that you could possibly eat, do you? Right, that right there is called moderation and discipline. And responsibility. Liberality and liberalism is very, very important. You need that in life. Like, I've just done a 12-hour shift. Look, I feel great after a 12-hour shift. That's how you know I'm in the right place. That's how you know I'm in the right place. Because I feel great after a 12-hour shift. Who feels great after 12 hours? I do. Because I'm in the right place. By the grace of God. Seriously, like, it's awesome, isn't it? So when you're in the right place, you know you're in the right place because you feel like the way I feel right now. But anyway, so let's say now you're in the shoes of what we just spoke about, and you are indulging in liberalism. Here's the thing, my guy. Too much liberalism will kill you. You need to have the prerequisite of responsibility. Western world is rotting away because too much liberalism, not enough responsibility. No one's responsible. No one cares about responsibility anymore. No one cares. In fact, when you walk around England, I've spoken to quite a few English people now. I don't consider myself necessarily English, although I am British. And you can't take that away from me. You can sit there and you can say, oh, but you're not white. Shut up. I don't give a shit. I was born and raised in this country. This country gave me so much. Right, invested in me, it protected me and my family. This country has given me a lot, and I owe this country a lot back. I'm not just gonna walk away from this country and turn around and run away because I'm not white. Shut up. I belong to this country, and this country is more than just an ethnicity. I believe personally that England is beyond ethnicity now, and it's become, I want to say civic nationalist, but it's a civic nation. I think it always has been a civic understanding of what England is. England is an ideal. It's a character. It's a nobility. It's a higher standard of living, right? England is not just barbarism. England isn't just barbaric ethnic nationalism. England is a civic and cultural state of being. All right, and we've got to evolve the idea of nationality anyway, because that's just the way the world works these days. But that doesn't mean you erode nationality. It just means the idea of nationality has to evolve itself. And no, not everyone can be a part of it. If everyone became a part of it, it wouldn't exist anymore, would it? It would not exist as an independent entity anymore. So it's got to have some kind of belonging to it. You come to the country, you work, you contribute to it, you provide, you assimilate, you learn the language, you respect the laws, you respect the culture, you make an effort to be a part of the culture. You don't just decide that I'm going to take this country over because I'm better or my culture's better. No, that's not how it works. All right? It's not how it works. And that being said, ethnic nationalists can go and do one, because ethnic nationalists are a bunch of weak, insecure, mostly losers who don't have anything to stand on other than the fact that, oh, my ancestors were white and therefore I'm great. You are a loser because you didn't contribute anything. You contribute something and you build your self-worth, much like your own self, much like your own identity is built. You don't just inherit it. It's something that is built within yourself through work and effort and showing up every day and doing the right thing and choosing discipline. Like, it doesn't just get given to you. So, yeah. You know, I think a career, you know, is very, very important, right? Well, how am I going to serve? It offers progression. It offers an avenue. I think careers are a beautiful idea. I used to really disagree with careers. I used to think that they were like a 9-to-5 control mechanism. Okay, maybe they are. That's one way of seeing it. But then I could say that about anything. I could say, well, do you know what? The idea of nationality is a control mechanism. The idea of being a man and a woman is a control mechanism. Just go be anything, man. Go be a zebra. Go be a tree. It's a control mechanism at the end of the day. So no, it's a trollop. It's not control mechanisms. It's a disciplinary mechanism to optimize growth. So choose a career, right? Choose something that will allow you to serve and will allow growth and allow development of skill and progression and service and sacrifice. Pick up your cross, right? I think that's important. This aligns with what Napoleon Hill talks about in his book, Outwitting the Devil, where he says, a man must have a chief definite aim in life. I've got two in my life right now. I've got two, okay? I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I've got two chief definite aims in my life, which they're so small, but I don't care because they're good enough, right? And I'm not going to rest until they're met, yeah? So pick your sacrifice, right? Pick it and work with it and do work towards it and see what happens, man. The world will change. And the other thing as well, if you're a young man, forget about women. Seriously, like, women will go to the valuable man at the end of the day. And if you're chasing, you are not valuable. Of course, because if you were valuable, you wouldn't have to chase. So let's stop chasing. Sit back, get to work, build your value, build who you are as a person, become competent, become responsible, contribute some valuable skill sets to society by developing those skill sets in the first place, through discipline again. And trust me, women will notice, because you will become more confident whilst doing that, and you will attract the right women, and you could date when you are ready to date. But if you are not naturally attracting women into your orbit, it's because you're not working towards what you should be working, okay? Most men live that life. I'm sorry, you can look online and be like, well, I'm sorry, but Chad Thundercock is there and he's swimming in this, and I'm not, and I'm jealous and upset and sad. Yeah, most men are like that, buddy. Most men are pretty, even men who I know who are socially popular still do not get laid as often as you think they do. Yeah, like I know a girl that's not been laid in at least 2 years. Like, can you imagine that? Oh my, like a woman that's not been laid in 2 years. Oh my God, oh wow. I thought they could get laid whenever they wanted. Yeah, but some of them actually have standards as well, man. Have you thought about that? Like, I know women who have not, right? Because here's the thing, people spend way too much time in the manosphere, which corrupts their mind to the point where they don't even know they're dealing with real people anymore. What the hell? Anyway, go be valuable, go be productive, go add some value to society, and go make a difference, man. And here's the thing, right? It works. It works. Like, there's tangible evidence to suggest that it works. Not even to suggest. There's tangible evidence that shows that it works. Okay. So anyway, right. I want to stop rambling now. Pick up your sacrifice. What does that mean? That means, all right, I'm going to dedicate my life to something. I'm going to dedicate my life to this and serve people through it. Right, I'm going to enrich humanity through my sacrifice. That's what Christ did. The ultimate story of Christ is he sacrificed his life for God, for existence, for reality, to serve. For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve. Yeah, there's very few sayings of Jesus, man, but the few that he did say, that's all you need to hear. All right, man, I'll see you in the next one, yeah?